everyone, and welcome to Club 3, episode 34 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. You join us at Derby County in the second season in the Premier League. We finished 12th last season, which was far beyond expectation, having been predicted to be bottom and get relegated. And this season is going as well, if not better, really. After 11 games, we sit in 7th place. And we are smack bang in a really tricky run of games. This particular schedule has got us 2 spots, one now and one later on, where we play pretty much all the big guys in a row. You can see that run between February and April later in the season, Tottenham, Liverpool, Leicester, Arsenal, Man Utd, Chelsea, is a real nightmare. And we're currently in one as well. So we've played Man City and we've played Chelsea. We've got Man United and Arsenal still to come, then Bournemouth, and then Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham. So you can see that these particular runs are going to be very, very hard for us to get the points that we need. But we're doing okay. So you can see that since the last time you and I were together, which was against Wolves, we've played Crystal Palace and got a 2-2 draw, which was disappointing. And then we got a very credible 0-0 draw against Man City. Very happy about that. And we went in that with our defensive formation, our defensive style of play. Norwich we then beat 1-0, which is good. Another few points on the board. And then again, the similar way in which we went in with Man City, we went in against Chelsea and it didn't go so well. Chelsea dominated the game really because very early in the game, in the 7th minute, they got a slightly unfortunate set piece goal from a corner kick or a free kick, one or the other, I can't remember exactly. And it was so early in the game that we went in defensively and all of a sudden it didn't really help us. We'd gone down a goal and we had to come out of that a little bit at home. So we stayed in the defensive structure for a little while, but they continued to pick up another goal at 11 minutes. And then by then the game was kind of done. We were really struggling to get back in it. We did come back out in the second half and play a bit better, but by then the damage was done and we lost 3-1 in the end. But those are kind of results that we would still expect to get with Derby County in the second season in the Premier League. So I think the point against Man City is a real bonus. The 3 points against Norwich is really key. And as I say, the great thing about it is that it leaves us in a very, very healthy 7th position in the Premier League. Today we get another really tough game. This episode we've got Manchester United, who only sit the place above us in 6th on the same amount of points. They're not having the best of seasons. I think they've had a bit of a takeover and a consortium have taken over. Their finances are only secure rather than rich. So there's things changed in that club, I think. And I think they might be struggling a little bit. Maybe it's a job we look out for in the next couple of seasons if it becomes available. Because I think there's still another job in us to get to one of these big 6 and try and win the Champions League, which is ultimately the goal of the series. So we'll keep an eye on that. Mourinho is currently back there, having gone for a second term. So we'll check that out later on. But yeah, today against Manchester United, and the next episode is against Liverpool at the end of this really, really tricky run. So we'll see where we are at that point. In terms of personnel for today, we've got a little bit of an issue in central defence. Harwood Bellis and Portas are both out injured, which is really disappointing. We could risk Portas, but I don't really want to risk anybody when they're half fit like that. So we've got Story and Burns that will play central defence today, and they're doing okay whenever they've played, so that's not too much of a problem. Ask me again after the game, it could be. And we've gone into the defensive structure again. We're away from home at Manchester United, so we can't really afford to come out too much at the beginning of the game. We've got to hold this shape and try and make it difficult for them if we can. It didn't work against Chelsea, but it did work against Man City. So we'll see how we get on. So the team that I've put out for today is Bazunu in goal, Bogle at right back, Target at left back, Story and Burns in central defence, with Joku, Vera and Silas in central midfield, Noel on the right, Lokudoku on the left and Ida up top, with a bench of Matheson, Cooper, Ivan, Martinez, Scott, Guive and Monterese. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So I've suggested to the team, we've got nothing to lose, go out there and give a performance that we know that we're capable of. All I'm really hoping is that we make it hard for United. Let's not go down early like we did against Chelsea. And we had the first opportunity off a free kick on the far right-hand side. And the header skims over the top of the crossbar, very close. But yeah, if we can maintain tightness in defence and sort of give a problem to Manchester United trying to break us down and keep it at 0-0 for as long as we can, maybe we can nick something and cause an upset. But if we go down early, we've got a big problem. But we're 23 minutes in, and have we just scored a goal? We've just scored a goal. The corner kick came in, and the ball finds itself at the top of the penalty box with Silas, and he's in so much space. They get a partial clearance. Here's Silas on the ball, gets it out from his feet, and shoots directly at the goalkeeper, and it basically went through his legs. David De Gea has had an absolute nightmare there, and we go 1-0 up after 23 minutes, and we are absolutely changing nothing. We stay in the defensive structure, we stay hard to beat, and try and get this through to half-time and give us something to build on, and the game has gone really quiet. And it does take us through to half-time. 1-0, not many highlights to talk of, but actually against this sort of opponent, that is no bad thing. Unfortunately, you can see that we've got a lot of injury issues in the central defence. And one of the guys playing today, because the other two are out, is Burns, and he's picked up a little bit of a knock. He can play on just for now, but it's not looking fabulous. He's got a lower leg issue, so I suspect it's like a dead leg or something. But yeah, something we're going to have to watch for the second half and see whether we can get him through to the end of the match. But up until now, they've all been playing pretty well. And then you've got Silas, who had that one chance and took it, and has got an 8.20 average rating for this particular match. So unbelievable first half, really. Can we hold on to it? What do we now do in terms of a half-time team talk to really try and hold on to it? Tell the boys they did well and their efforts were excellent. I am going to do that with the assistant manager. That is as good as we can do, I think. It's delighted everybody, but we've now got to go out and concentrate and still make it really hard for United. And they're going to come out all guns blazing, you would imagine, and try and break us down. But they got a little bit of nerves in their side, which is good to see. We've obviously really put the wind up them, but here they come with a corner kick and an early attempt in the second half. Well, it's not too early, 58 minutes, and they get a bit of a lucky goal off that corner kick. A little bit disappointing that we couldn't quite clear the ball. The first ball comes in from the corner, and it's a good header. The second header off the bar, we could have then cleared it by Bogle, but he doesn't quite manage it, and he pushes it onto the head of the striker, and they get a fairly unfortunate goal on the 58th minute. Has taken this through to 70 minutes. You can see that the average ratings are a little bit lower than I would like at this point in the game. Loku Doku's going to come off for Guive to come on, because his is not particularly great. I think Ida has run his course up top, so Monterese will come on as well. And then what do we do about Finley Burns? We've got no direct central defensive replacement, but he has got a knock, and there is an issue there. Do we take him off and put Joku back there for the last little bit of the game? Maybe. It's a gamble, isn't it? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave Burns on, and I'm going to replace... what am I going to do instead? I'm going to replace Target down the left-hand side and bring Cooper on and just get some legs there. It's a bit of a gamble to play Burns all the way through the game, but I would prefer that, I think, whilst he's still fit enough to do it, rather than put a central midfielder in that role. But it just opens up the possibility that United could pick us off in the last 20 minutes of the game, and it is them with the ball down their right-hand side. And I think we've done so well, but can we keep this going? I'm going to pause the game and go in for a shout and just say, tighten up a little bit. Just to see if we can make it even harder for them to get through our banks of four at the back. And see whether we can find a way to keep this draw. Another draw against the Manchester club would be amazing, but here they come again. They have a pot shot at goal from quite a wide angle, and it hits the side netting and doesn't really challenge the goalkeeper. You can see that we're a little bit frustrated now by the team talk I gave. I'm not really sure why, but that disappears quite quickly. And United have been put a rocket up them, and they're all fired up. You can see in their body language, but We made it. We made it all the way through to the 93rd minute, and the final whistle goes. And again, we pick up an unexpected point from one of the two Manchester clubs in this really tricky run that we're on. And we've got to go in and passionately say, everybody thought we'd be beaten today. Well done for proving them wrong. Great result. That's going to boost their confidence. And what an amazing point that is to get. And we keep pace with United and with the couple of sides above us. And that is incredible in the after 12 games of the season. You can see that we've still got a lot of this challenging run to come. Sorry, as I pressed the wrong button. The challenging run still to come. We've got Arsenal in the next game, then Bournemouth, then Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham. It's going to be tricky to get us many more points in that run, but we're going to give it a good go. We've got the confidence and the momentum, and we've got a good defensive way to play against some of these big guys. It didn't work against Chelsea at home, but it worked both times away from home against the big guys in the Manchester games. So what have we got? We've got an away game against Leicester. We've got a home against Arsenal. Liverpool is at home, Tottenham away. So, home and away issues seem to be occurring. When we play too defensive at home, it doesn't seem to work. But we can't play any other way against these bigger guys, can we? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you think we should do in the Liverpool match at home. A bit more of a tricky thought process to go through. Anyway, that'll do for today. We got such an amazing response from this group of players in that 1-1 draw against Man United. An extra point than maybe we thought we would have. And it's looking really, really decent. 7th position. Hard games to come, but confidence is high, motivation and momentum are good. So let's see how we go in the next few games. Join me for the next episode for Liverpool. That's going to be tricky. Tell me how you'd approach that game in the comments below. But until next time, thanks very much for joining me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Join my United City community. If you haven't clicked that like button, do that for me. It helps me get seen by loads of other people. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.